Hi, my name is Divya and welcome to my channel Beauty is Subjective. Today I will be talking all about sunscreens, sunblocks, what are physical sunscreens, what are chemical sunscreens, the pros and cons of each of them, is either better than the other, and I'll also be making some recommendations at the end of the video, so make sure you stick around. Before we get into it, please like and share this video. I hope this will be a helpful video for all of you, and make sure you subscribe to my channel. Okay, here we go. Let's start with the very basics. What is radiation? Emission of energy from any source is known as radiation. It is typically classified based on the energy levels or the frequency, and the lowest radiation is something like microwaves and radio waves, and the highest radiation is things like X-rays and gamma rays. Ultraviolet rays fall in the middle of that spectrum. Ultraviolet rays are the rays that we receive from the sun. I will be referring to ultraviolet rays as UV rays in the rest of this video. UV rays are of two kinds, UVA and UVB. UV rays are at their highest intensity between the time of 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. About 95% of the sun rays are UVA and the remaining 5% of the sun rays are UVB. UVA are the rays that penetrate our skin deeper and cause premature skin aging, age spots, dark spots, wrinkles, and such other forms of premature aging, which we also refer to as photoaging because it's aging due to exposure to light. Their effect is more long-term. UVB rays are the ones that have more immediate effect, and they are the ones that cause skin tanning or a sunburn. The effects of UVB are more immediate, but the damage lasts long-term. Extended exposure to both UVA and UVB can cause skin cancer. 1 in 5 Americans will get skin cancer in their lifetime. Sunscreen is the most important tool when it comes to fighting skin cancer. Even on cloudy days, sunscreen is a must. Even if you're indoors, sunscreen is a must. Basically, the rule is if the sun is out, then your skin better have sunscreen on it. There is a concern about extreme usage of sunscreen leading to lower absorption of vitamin D, and this is not a valid concern because very few people really apply enough amount of sunscreen or are even regular about the application of sunscreen. Now I'm going to talk about 5 things to look for in a sunscreen. 1, it has to be broad spectrum. Broad spectrum means that it protects you from both UVA and UVB sun rays. 2, aim for sun protection factor or SPF of a minimum 30. SPF 30 blocks at least 97% of the sun rays. 3, is your sunscreen reef safe? If you plan to swim at the beach, you better make sure your sunscreen is reef safe. Common sunscreen ingredients such as oxybenzone and octinoxate are known to cause bleaching of the coral reefs and are very harmful to the ocean life. So to make sure that your sunscreen is reef safe, you should check the ingredients and make sure that it doesn't contain these. You can use those ingredients in a sunscreen if you are not planning to swim, basically on non-beach days. 4th thing, something that not many people are aware of, is your sunscreen photostable? Photostable means does its molecular structure change with exposure to sunlight? And sadly, as per NIH, most of the commercially available sunscreens are photo unstable. It's just that most of us are not aware of it. There is no regulation in the US that requires these brands to mark photostability of their products when they're being sold. Back in the day, I used to determine the photostability of the sunscreens I use by plugging in the active ingredient percentages on an EWG or Environmental Working Group website. Today, I have gotten away from that hassle simply by using physical sunscreens. Typically, physical sunscreens are photostable, but we'll get to that in a bit. And the 5th aspect, even if a sunscreen says that it is waterproof or it is sweatproof, it is not. Reapplication is absolutely important. On a normal activity day, you need to reapply sunscreen every 2 hours at least. And if you've gone swimming or if you've sweated a lot, you have to reapply immediately. Now we're going to talk about the types of sunscreens, physical sunscreens and chemical sunscreens. Physical sunscreens create a barrier on your skin that block and deflect the UV rays coming from the sun. That is also one of the reasons why they are referred to as sunblocks, because they are literally blocking the sun rays. Whereas the chemical sunscreens absorb the sun rays or the UV radiation and scatter them in your skin in the form of heat. Please note that one is not better than the other. It depends on your use case scenario and what your need is. The physical sunblocks use mineral-based ingredients such as zinc oxide and titanium dioxide to block the UV radiation. The chemical sunscreens use chemical compounds such as oxybenzone, octinoxate, avobenzone, and octisalate. The reason why these compound names are flowing off of my tongue so easily is because I have been deeply entrenched in studying sunscreens for over 15 years of my life. The physical sunblocks lay on top of your skin to protect you from UV rays. This is also one of the reasons why in the past physical sunblocks were more prone to being wiped off. However, there have been hordes of development in the arena of physical sunblocks. Physical sunblocks work as soon as they are applied to your skin, whereas chemical sunscreens, once applied, need at least 15 to 20 minutes before they start working and before you're able to step out of the house. The physical sunblocks often have a whitish tint to them when applied on skin, which is what makes it less attractive to people, and that's the reason why people avoid using it, because it is less cosmetically elegant. However, like I said, there has been a huge improvement in the arena of physical sunblocks, and now they have been made to have a tint that matches your skin tone, or sometimes even invisible. The chemical sunscreens are thin and absorb into your skin. They are not necessarily as visible depending on which one you are using, and this is more cosmetically elegant and more attractive to people. Physical sunblocks are less likely to irritate sensitive skin and are better suited to people who suffer from heat activated skin issues such as rosacea. Chemical sunscreens convert UV rays to heat, and hence it can possibly cause rosacea flare-ups for people who suffer from rosacea. Often I hear from my friends that they do not use sunscreens because the sunscreens tend to break them out, and I completely relate with that. That has been my biggest complaint over the years until I discovered physical sunblocks. I have used some of the best chemical sunscreens which are being known to be non-comedogenic from some of the best brands on the market, such as Shiseido or La Roche-Posay and many other bigger brands as well. However, they haven't worked out for me in the long run. I won't say that you will have the same experience. All I'm saying is that was my experience that caused me eventually to switch over to physical sunblocks. Also because I discovered physical sunblocks which, instead of giving a whitish tint, had a tint that matched my skin tone, or sometimes even invisible, and I will be coming to those and recommending those later. Chemical sunscreens have a number of ingredients in them, which makes it really hard to determine which particular ingredient may have irritated your skin and caused the breakout. Not to say that physical sunblocks do not cause breakouts. They are mineral based and it's got fewer ingredients, and therefore it is easier to narrow down on the culprit. But there is the flip side to this. Chemical sunscreens, because of their thinness and the way they've been formulated, they are more open to incorporating skin boosting ingredients such as peptides or enzymes or vitamin C and any other additives, whereas physical sunblocks, because of the minerals used in them, they do not lend themselves that much to have additives which are good for your skin. Like I said, not everybody breaks out from chemical sunscreens. So if you are someone whose skin is able to stand chemical sunscreen easily, you're in luck, because you're going to be able to use sunscreens that are going to make your skin even better. So it really is all about testing and trying and figuring out what works best for your use case as well as your skin. Now we go to the section of the video that most people are watching this video for, which is the recommendations. Let me get my personal sunscreen collection. Please do not judge me. So my personal sunblock is the EltaMD UV Physical Broad Spectrum SPF 41 Facial Sunscreen. It looks like this. I am going to be linking all of these in my description bar or description box, so make sure you check those out. This is recommended for extra sensitive and post-procedure skin. So people who have skin procedures done, it is recommended for them. So you can only imagine the level of sensitive skin that can actually stand this, which means how gentle this must be on the skin. I have pretty much used it up. Yeah, and this is tinted. I use the tinted version. I like the fact that it's tinted. Sometimes I just apply this and I don't really apply anything else on my skin. One of the really popular ones, which is really cosmetically elegant and also a physical sunblock, is the Murad Environmental Shield City Skin Age Defense SPF 50 PA++++, 4 pluses. It looks like this. Again, I'm gonna be linking this in the description bar. Make sure you check this out. This is one of my absolute favorite sunscreens. The biggest con about this one is that it is only 50 ml or 1.7 ounces, and it costs close to $70. So if Murad has discounts like 20%, 30%, friends and family events, that's the best time to purchase this. And even with those discounts, this is highly overpriced. I love it, but I don't think I will be buying it again. It burns too big a hole in my pocket. EltaMD has a bunch of sunblocks, and I have at least 6 different types of them. This is LTIMD's UV Facial Broad Spectrum SPF 30. This is for dry and post-procedure skin as well. So this is more moisturizing, and I'll probably be using this more in the winter time when my skin will tend to be a little drier than usual. This is another LTIMD. It's called UV Clear Broad Spectrum SPF 46. It calms and protects acne-prone skin. It also has niacinamide, which is really great, and transparent zinc oxide. It's a tinted sunscreen again. This is recommended a lot, probably the most recommended sunscreen in magazines nowadays. I've been using it for a lot longer than that though, and I highly recommend it. Two more of the first one that I showed, which was the Broad Spectrum SPF 41. It literally says UV physical, so it's as clear as it gets. So there's also a Supergoop Glow Screen SPF 40, I believe. It's getting a lot of positive buzz on the market. I definitely plan to try it if I ever am able to get through all of these. Quartz is another great one, great physical sunblock. It's also specifically targeted for the face, and again has a natural tint to it. I love it. So the first Elta one that I showed, the SPF 41, and Quartz SPF 40. These two are my absolute favorites. A brand called Replenix, they have a sheer physical. So this is a physical sunblock that is sheer, which is exactly what I was talking about. There are physical sunblocks that either match your skin tone nowadays or are sheer, and this is one of those. It's SPF 50 and it's 2 ounces, and this is a really good one. Asian countries, specifically Japanese and Korean skincare, are ages ahead of the US, and their sunscreen rating system is so much better than us. It is based on something called PPD, which is persistent pigment darkening. PPD test is based on the increasing amount of UVA that a person can stand with that sunscreen on without tanning. These countries do care a lot about their skin getting tanned, so their sunscreens are targeted around preventing tanning. And the PA system ranges from PA 2 pluses to PA 4 pluses. The maximum, which is the 4 pluses, have the PPD value of 16. It means that a person can stand 16 times more of the UVA exposure before they start tanning with the sunscreen on versus without it. There are a couple of Korean sunscreens that I'm trying and I'm loving. This is the one by Biore UV Watery Essence SPF 50 plus PA 4 pluses. This is a great one, and it's quite cheap. I mean, it's really surprising how cheap this is for how great it works. This is not a physical sunblock though, just an FYI. I don't exclusively use physical sunblocks. I am dipping my toes back into the chemical sunscreen arena, like I said, because they're a lot more cosmetically elegant, and for a day in the office or working from home, these work out great as long as they don't break me out. Another one, a Korean brand called Purito. They have this one called Centella Green Level Safe Sun SPF 50 PA 4 pluses. It looks like this. They always say that a sunscreen should be applied at least every 2 hours with your normal activities. Ideally speaking, I should be reapplying my sunblock every 2 hours. But for someone like me who has makeup on after having applied their skincare and sunscreen and then makeup, how do you apply sunscreen when you have makeup on? This is a question that really bothered me a lot initially, and the solution to that is using brush-on sunscreens. I have the one by Tarte right now. It's a mineral powder sunscreen. This is called Tarte Guard. The reapplication of sunscreen is easily achievable when you use a brush-on sunscreen product such as this. There's another one I also use by a brand called Color Science. Again, I will be linking it in my description box. Do you see that powder flying? That's like a really awesome way to make sure you get your sun protection every 2 hours, even if you have makeup on. If I'm being honest, I do not do that as of yet, but I plan to. Again, do as I say, not as I do. Well, you know, I'm trying. I hope you do too. Sun care is one of the most important things I stress on in every video of mine, because without sun care, all of your skincare regimen and skincare products are gonna be wasted, because the damage from sun without a sunscreen is gonna undo all the good work that you're doing for your skin with your regimented skincare routine. With regards to ratings, I would also like to talk about something called UPF. UPF is Universal Protection Factor. UPF is the protection against sun offered by clothing. Kulibar is my favorite sun care clothing brand. I have a ton of their clothes which I use if we plan beach trip. I know that was a lot of information. I do hope you learned something useful from it. If nothing else, all I will say is incorporate a sunscreen into your routine ASAP if you don't already. Links to all the products mentioned and even those not mentioned will be listed in the description box. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time. Have a great day.